before about this tweet about you going to hell.
Yeah.
I know that you're an atheist, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. People have been debating.
We're just stigmatized.
That's the devil waiting for you in hell, by the way.
Yeah.
Would you want to debate the existence of
Sure.
God? Okay.
Yeah.
So, Ricky Gervais, why is there something instead of nothing?
That makes no sense
You
at all.
have to answer my question.
That's not the two choices.
No, but the choices I'm giving you, I'm the host.
Well, I don't...
You want to concede the debate? Why is there something instead of nothing?
Hold on.
Yes?
What do you mean, out of nothing? What do you...
Why is there something instead of why is there nothing? Why does the universe exist at all? Why is there something?
But
it's not,
surely the bigger question is not why, but how.
Yeah.
Well, why is irrelevant, isn't
Okay,
it?
fine. How is there something? Because you think of God as the prime mover. How is there anything instead of nothing?
I don't. This is a ridiculous
Is there a
premise.
prime mover? Is there a demiurge that started everything?
Well, outside science and nature, I don't believe so. Because the interesting thing is, this is the thing, right? So, I'm an agnostic atheist, technically. Agnostics means no one knows whether there's a God. So everyone's technically agnostic. We don't know.
That's true,
So
that's true.
an agnostic atheist is someone who doesn't know there's...
Yeah, so, like, on that alone, bro, like, we don't know. You don't know anything. And I guess it's fair. You can use that same argument with anything, but you take the science approach, your hypothesis is just make more sense to me. You can provide me fucking evidence, and I can use my own logic to come up with, my own estimations, based on evidence provided, as opposed to just believing in something because I'm supposed to believe in something.
No one knows whether there's a God. So everyone's technically agnostic. We don't know.
That's true,
So
that's true.
an agnostic atheist is someone who doesn't know there's a God or not, as no one does.
So you're not convicted of your atheism?
Well,
You're
I
not
am.
Sure.
No, I am, because atheism is only rejecting the claim that there is a God. Atheism isn't a belief system. Atheism. So this is atheism in a nutshell. You say there's a God. I say, can you prove that? You say no. I say I don't believe you then. So you believe in one God, I assume.
In three persons, but go ahead.
Okay. So you believe. Okay. So. But there are about 3,000 to choose from that have been, people who believe in...
I've done some reading, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
So basically, you believe in... You deny one less God than I do. You don't believe in 2,999 gods, and I don't believe in just one more.
Right. Do you ever have a feeling of great gratitude for existence?
Of course.
Do you ever have
I know the chances are billions to one that I am on this planet as me and never will be again.
And I know I can't convince you that there is a God, nor do I really want to convince you there's a God, but
No.
I can only explain my experience, which is that I have a strong desire to direct that gratitude toward something or someone.
Of course, no, of course.
And that thing is God.
We're more...
See, but then they're debating the existence of it, right? And that's just not a good argument to have. I feel a sense of gratitude for being here. I feel special, and because of that, I want to, give my thankfulness of that gratitude back, and who I want to give that back to is God. That's not a good argument, at least for a debate. You know what I mean? That's definitely not good enough for me. It's on feelings and beliefs and faith or whatever, man. I need some facts. That's the world I live in. That's what I'm waiting on. I'm waiting on someone to be able to at least get me to consider the fact that there's something out there besides what I can logically assume. I can't live in this. I believe, therefore this is true. Because he's right. Technically, everybody is an agnostic. But there's no way you can prove any of this. It's all based on how you feel about what you want it to be. And I'm not doing that, especially when religion has such a stronghold on everyone, man. Which is fine. Like, I'm not against it. I don't want anybody to be thinking that I'm not against religion at all. I like the positives that come out of it when people can adopt the morals and principles from it to live their life the way they see fit. Some people need that to make life easier for them. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think a Bible is responsible for people just being good people or bad people. Man, we live in a civilized society where you can come up with what's right and wrong. And then there's certain areas of the world where religion doesn't exist, and they're living in harmony, just being good people, right? And for it, and yeah, part of me didn't even want to react to this fucking video, man, because I just did the reaction to Matt Walsh and Joe Rogan, and that's why I posted that poll today, asking who's religious on the platform. More of y'all said y'all weren't than y'all are, but like just the simple fact that, you know, I have my stance on things is enough for people to like say fuck you, fuck off, bruh. You know what I mean? Like, that's a big problem in itself, that people can't have, and because we have differing opinions, people are gonna have animosity or hostility towards you. That's a big issue in the world in general, but more specifically with religion, dog, because you and I don't see eye to eye, therefore you're my enemy now. Come on, man. I mean, if I don't do you no harm and you don't do me no harm, what does it matter if you and I adopt different principles to get us through life? You know what I'm saying? So who cares about what your foundation is made out of if we're both out here doing the right thing? And that should be the fucking goal at the end of the day. I just don't like the division it causes and the hostility outsiders get because they have difference in opinions, man. But yeah, Steven, what's his name? I don't know his last name. He hasn't made a good argument. That's what I'm waiting on. Like Ricky Gervais' argument, bro, that was pretty. And that's the world I live in, man. I'm never gonna use emotion or faith or belief to prove anything, because you can't prove that. There's no evidence there based on, you know, what you believe. You can't live in that space. People are up and down, flip flop all the goddamn time, bro. But science remains the same. It remains the same. You know what I'm saying?
We want to make sense of nature and science. And
I got sidetracked too. Like he said, there was a sense of gratitude of being here. Like I think that we are here on an accident. We got lucky to be here. The stars aligned right, and boom, 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 and we here, right? And it's cool to be here, but once we gone, we gone. That's how I fucking view things. I mean, I'm not gonna let the fear of the majority believing something's gonna happen after life when you have nothing to prove what's gonna take place in the afterlife. There's nothing that proves what's gonna take place in the afterlife. I mean, and I just, you know, just logically, it doesn't make any sense to put all my eggs in this basket just in fear of what may happen because I don't believe in something, when I know in my heart of hearts I'm living my life the right way, and who will do me harm for living my life the way I'm living my life just for simply not believing in what, you know, the majority of y'all believe in it. And, you know, religion, it molds, it conditions, it brainwashes too, man. That's a good way to keep the veil over people's eyes and not see the fucking truth too. Like, that has a lot to do with it too, man. I'm of the mindset, like, if you can't prove it, he said, we're all agnostic at the end of the day because you can't prove it. And if you can't prove it and you've been living your life by this book the entire time, and then, you know, at the end, and you come to find out, we're not gonna find out if life happens the way I think it has. Well, I think when you die, lights shut off and it's done. You just your body's just gonna be decomposing in the fucking earth. That's what the fuck I think. So it's nothing gonna happen at the end, but there's a possibility that will take place. I think it's more of a probability that will take place based on, you know, science and shit, and for people to be so convicted in religion, believing that this is going to take place in the afterlife. What if that afterlife don't take place? So you just been duped this entire time, just being lied to, thinking that there's, you know, one almighty that's controlling everything in the fucking like universe. Come on, man. Does that apply to aliens too? There's definitely aliens out there. But then it's like people don't even want to fucking entertain that the logical chance, that the high likelihood that there are aliens out here. But it's expected and assumed that there's, you know, some one supernatural motherfucker that's looking over everything. Like, what seems more far-fetched? The one presence, the God Almighty that's in control of everything, or the fact that, you know, the universe isn't infinite and there's plenty of other planets and solar systems which are capable of sustaining life, which would lead ones to think that life is possibly beyond these planets, and by definition that is an alien, right? But no, we can't have that conversation. But yeah,
and it's too unfathomable that everything in the universe was once crunched into something smaller than an atom.
But you don't know that.
Well,
you're just believing Stephen Hawking, and that's a matter of faith in his abilities.
Yes.
You don't know it yourself. You're accepting that because someone told you.
Yeah.
Well, you're accepting it because someone's teaching you. Like, that's not the same. I've heard that argument too. It's not the same. If you tell me a story, I'm supposed to, like, religion side of it, you tell me a story, I'm supposed to believe this story. Stephen Hawking, on the other hand, he gives you evidence, and you can use your logic to make your own inference from the evidence he provides, right? Which was math, science, all these shit that provide these fucking theories. And there's a chance that his theory may not be true. But if I'm going to place a bet, I'm going to place a bet on the science part of it as opposed to the faith aspect of it, because faith is something entirely different depending on who you fucking talking to. Science remains the same the entire time. That shit doesn't change. People fucking change. If people fucking change, faith can fucking change. I'd rather believe science than believe people, because people ain't shit.
Well, but science is constantly proved all the time. You see, if we take something like any fiction, in any holy book, in any other fiction, and destroyed it, okay, in 1,000 years' time, that wouldn't come back just as it was. Whereas if we took every science book, right, and every fact, and destroyed them all, in 1,000 years, they'd all be back, because all the same tests would be the same result.
The same thing I just said.
That's good. That's really good.
So
That's really good.
I don't need faith in science. I don't need faith to know that probably if I jump out of a window, every other time someone jumps out, they smash to the ground because of this thing called gravity.
And then Satan would be raping you.
See?
This is why I'm a good boy.
Ricky, please come back and debate something even more important.
Sure.
But what's the name? He got smoked, bro. He got smoked. Stephen got smoked. But that's blind faith right there, bro. That's blind faith, which is cool. That makes you a better person. I'll never knock that shit. But he had no argument for Ricky, bro. Like Ricky was, and that's the world I align with. What Ricky was saying, but that was all facts. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if an agnostic atheist is what he explained. That's what the fuck I am, because it makes sense. Faith don't make sense. Faith is just a belief. And, you know, I ain't about to be just believing in anything because motherfuckers tell me to believe into it. Because motherfuckers tell me to believe it. And that's how trouble starts. You know what I mean? But anyway, I'm out.